So the next question is about the unrest that is prevalent in all of the countries before the lockdown, and I guess will be prevalent after the lockdown. Is the crux of the CAA Act only dependent on minorities, and if so, why?
This topic would require a special individual session for itself, I think. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So if you can make it
It's
like
an individual.
really short,
I'll,
it will be.
I'll just briefly, put it to you on this. Okay, see, we understand there has been a lot of protest that has happened
Yeah.
based on this CAA Acts and bill. Okay, so basically the bill has the crust majorly lies is only dependent on the minority. Okay, but there are also then other aspects of it. Like if you look at the northeast and the Assam region, okay, for them that was a different thing. For them, they were concerned about the Bangladeshi Hindus coming in, infiltrating and causing their own cultural issues with the culture or languages or whatever.
Yes.
But majorly for the Muslim minority, it was a big issue. Okay, it was an identity issue. Okay, because there is this CAA law is already there. Okay,
Yes.
the citizenship law is already there.
It's implemented.
Correct. And which is it has been there since several years, and where we are also taking, like if anybody's oppressed is there in other countries, we are already doing it. The difference here is that after 12 years, the difference from the old one and the new one is that after 12 years, their citizenship would get normalized. Okay. But in this case, it is 6 years. So they have done that. And another big change what they have done is they have excluded the Muslims in that. Okay. Not
Yes.
only just Muslims in that, but also the certain other neighboring regions also. If you look at the overall thing, it doesn't fit very well. So this was an act which was brought hurriedly, okay, to promote the idea or to promote the narrative of the the party or the government. But it has created lot of positive impact in the society in large. You see that. This was everybody. The minority community had almost been very quiet in lot of issues, in all issues. Lot of things have happened, but we have never come out to speak in loud, or we have never come out to protest or anything.
Yes, that's very true.
And even in CA protest also, it's not only the Muslim community that is there.
Yes.
So that is very much because the problem is you cannot you are going against what is said in the constitution. So even by the parliament, you cannot change something which is already defined in the constitution. Okay. By majority on the parliament, you are getting your law done, you are getting it passed, you are doing everything. So now it's in the court will make the decision. But we cannot say anything to this government. Okay. It's for us, or it's for the people of the country. Okay, it's not just Muslim. Everybody has to understand, because see, we are a multicultural and multi-religional religion-based country. Okay, nation. So we have to live as we have always lived, and it has been very good democracy. So if you come to this today, tomorrow there could be laws or there could be differences based not just on religion but based on linguistics also.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. As they are saying today, it is because of this. They have brought in. Tomorrow there can be some law based for the languages, or Hindi being the only language that will be applied. So if you allow these things to proceed without any objections or anything like that, the consequences of that will be bad for the future as a nation. That's what everybody has to understand. So major crest is for Muslims, of course, but it will affect overall the entire nation. That is definitely. Now, if you look at this, is also has links with the NRC.
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
We
Yes.
should not forget that point also.
Yes.
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 So
True.
NRC, if you see NRC that was implemented or tried to be implemented in Assam, okay, all had involvement of around more than 50,000 government employees, okay, and more than 1,200 crores of rupees spent on that. Okay. Now, just Assam, if you look at it, it is only 3% of the entire India. Okay,
Yes,
next.
sir.
Now imagine the amount of resources that required. Imagine the amount of money that will be involved in. It's not a practical thing to do. So it is going to be problem not just for a particular community, but it's going to problem for everybody. So these are some of the impacts that will come. We'll have to again protest if it's
Okay. So the next question is, what are your thoughts and aspirations for the future of your community?
actually, if you see that as of now, we have changed, we have evolved. Okay, because now our focus is not more on emotional issues, okay, or issues about personal law, or any other matters of religious or identity. Okay,
True.
we have become to learn about it, because the more we go into it, it's not at all being beneficial for us. So now our discourse is mostly focusing on education, economics, and social progress. Okay. This has brought in a major shift. Okay, this is a major shift from the emotional issues to social economic issues and development. Is a big indication of a very good and possible transformation. So
Yes, sir.
that's in fact very good that we have, it,
Mm.
earlier we were discussing mostly on with you guys all getting into all debate discussions. We can think more broadly.
Yes, sir. So, sir, proceeding to the next question, what do you think of the current global situation of minorities, per se Uyghurs, Rohingyas, and the George Floyd situation in the USA? So, how would you?
Globally, if you look at the happenings in Uyghur and Rohingyas or other regions, these are again a big violation of human rights. Okay,
Yes.
so unfortunately, only civil society organizations and locally available organizations, they shout about it, or they protest about it. But the people who would make an impact, okay, they are not just doing anything sufficient enough, you know, to curtail or control this kind of happening. Okay. For instance, the UN can take a lot of initiatives on that. Okay,
Yes.
so they are they, everybody condemns it. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what condemning it, and then it is getting over. Okay. Now, if you look at the Uyghurs or the Rohingyas, if you say the matter, okay, uh, there is Organization of Islamic Council. Okay, it's a
Yes.
worldwide organization which India is also a party to it. Okay, it has got around 57 or 58 countries jointly together. Okay, so these countries can definitely take action, because if China wants to, for instance, if China is doing such things over there, okay, they can take actions and put restrictions on goods being sold, and a lot of things they can do. Okay. So unless you take action, things will not improve at all. Yeah, it will be the same. And if they don't do it now, the future is going to be still worse. So these are, now you have counted me two regions specifically, and the third region is a recent development. Okay. So there itself, you have seen what kind of reactions people have had.
Yes, sir.
You have to have a reaction for everything. Unless there is a reaction happening, you just sit quiet by just condemning that. I don't think this will progress. So even for the world needs to understand this, and people are there. Everybody is talking about it, understanding the situation, why they know the truth. Okay, lot of activists are taking this matter. They are talking about it. They are spreading it in the social media. Okay. The news media, of course, is totally very biased. We cannot rely on them. Only 10% of them, release that kind of, especially in India. Okay. So that is one thing. But organizations like, these, that is, as I said, UN or the OIC, until they act, it will be a little difficult going ahead.
Okay. So moving on to one of the last questions in this session. Being one of the most racially diverse countries in the world, what can we as Indians do to be a role model for the world? How do we ensure a future for minorities? And specifically, how can the youth take action and ensure a future?
Youth has already taken action. Again, I am talking in terms of Indian aspects, as you were correct. We are talking about India level.
Yes.
So, and I am very happy about it. Okay. If you see JNU, okay. If you look at Jamia or AMU, okay, Aligarh Muslim University, all this does not just only include students from the minority community. Okay. So this is one conception many people have, that there are only Muslim students studying there, okay, or the minority community students studying. It is not like that. Okay. All community people are studying there, and these students, they all understand everything. When everybody was sleeping, these students are those who have taken the first voice, correct? And that is what made the difference. So that the student community needs to play a very key role in raising the voices on issues, not just related to minority, but also any issues that does not fit into the best interest of the nation. So you guys as a student need to play a very important role and a very key role in nation building. That's very important.
Yes, sir. So, sir, how would you say that our constitution in general, if you say the policies are very, very well defined and very, very well put for the terms that India has been because of being racially such diverse. But how far would you say that the implementation is still lagging behind in today's date?
As I said, implementation lagging because there's no initiative. Okay. As I said, the initiative to gather data was done. Okay. That was started sometimes in 2011. The report was published in 2016. Okay. But the implementation did not happen. One thing happened is, as I told you, this minority commission got established. Okay.
Yes.
But again, with this minority commission, the powers are very limited. Okay. The minority commission is with institutional powers. It is not with constitutional powers.
Yes, true. Exactly, sir.
These are some of the things that are there. So unless, as policies are not implemented very effectively, it will take some more time for improving the situation. And these are not just only for the minorities in state. Okay. You include the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, other backward communities. Okay. Everybody, it is the same thing. So for other than the Muslim minority, okay, the convenience is that they have this convenience of saying they come under the Hindu community as per their need. Okay, when they want, they bring them to the Hindu part of the Hindu community.
Vote bank politics.
Yeah, but when they don't want, they will not give any kind of benefits or quotas or anything like that because their condition is bad.
Yes.
The requirement is that because there is so much backwardness in that. Okay. Economic backwardness. So when it comes to there, then you become a SC, ST or OBC. Okay. But
Yes.
where it matters to them, then they become part of the majority. That's
Yes.
again a different aspect of the
Yes.
politics.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Mm.
Would there be any words you would like to say to our viewers, sir? Like any message you want to say to our viewers to make India a better place?
To make India a better place, you will have to not get carried by false narratives. Okay. You will have genuinely understand this. See what is the truth. Okay. Try to get that truth. Try to get that knowledge. So once you get that thing, then you will understand what is actually happening in your country. You by just being getting carried away by false narratives or false narrative, it becomes very difficult. Okay. So that differences will be very big. Okay. We have lived so long together as a nation. We have never seen such kind of issues anytime before. Okay. You all might be having friends with all community people and everybody. Okay. Especially in the youth, there is no differences like this. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have
Indeed.
never seen that. I have seen lot of. I've been talking to uh, guys of your age. They and all. They don't even bother. Or they understand everything, but there is not any kind of difference
Mm.
in anything, both in majority as well as in minority. So they value friendship more than anything. They value nation above all this.
Yes.
I think that's very good and that should continue.
Sir, I think we can go with one last question and then we can end this session. So, my question for you is regarding the recent government budget that was implemented recently. Um, the government had actually allocated a lot of money just for government ads. So, how do you think this budget for government ads could be used to bring awareness to the minorities on what the policies that have been enacted for them and how that can bridge the gap between the
Actually,
policy making?
yeah, government ad revenues are allocated basically for the purpose of creating awareness. But if the people who are who are supposed to do this, it's in their hand. If they want, they should know what are the priorities. So if if they don't want to do that and they wanted to promote a face, then we cannot do anything like that because they are in the government.
True.
What can the opposition do? They can shout about it. They can bring the thing. But for this majorly, the media is supposed to bring all this awareness to the people of what is happening with the advertisement budget. But
Mm.
media also does not do it. You know why? What the reason for it? Because media gets their advertisement from government. So for
Yes.
them it is a major revenue.
Mm.
So when I am, you are my customer. Okay. How will I make oppose you on what you are doing?
Yes, sir.
These are some of the complexities. And with general people of late, what has happened is that down south it's very clear. People understand what it is and what not. But in northern region and in some of these parts here, uh, people have come to a belief that uh, the government is the nation. Okay.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
They
Yes.
don't understand the difference between the nation and the government. Government is a temporary thing. Government will come and government will go. Okay.
Mm.
Nation is what is permanent.
Yes,
True.
sir. True,
So
sir.
Very true.
so these awareness you guys have to create. You have to talk about it. speak about it in social media. You do not have to fear about anything. Okay, especially students have nothing to fear about. But everybody have to voice against whatever is not right, whatever is false.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I guess our meeting comes to a wrap now.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us so much, Mr. General Secretary, sir, for a riveting talk about the significance of minorities of our country. It was a very informative eye opener of a session for me personally. I hope it will be for the viewers too. On behalf of the Crescent Literary Society, I would like to express my extreme gratitude for joining us this evening, sir. I hope you had a good time having this talk with us.
Thank you so much. I too enjoyed a lot, and it was indeed my pleasure talking to you guys. And would always look forward to you guys having more sessions of this time with lot of other people in different lines and activities. And I wish you all this best, all the best, for your initiatives.
Thank you, sir. And we wish you all the best too.
All the best to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us today. If you like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. And do follow us on our Instagram page, Crescent Literary Society. And please do share your views in the comments below. And I hope to see you all next time.